Hello artists! Today I'm going to show you how to do some accurate figure proportions using the one head measurement with 8 sections to show that a human figure is approximately 8 heads tall. And then we'll break it down into the different sections to create some accurate proportions. The first thing you're going to need is a piece of paper. Whether it's notebook paper or white paper, whatever you have on hand is fine. Actually, notebook paper works well because it's already divided up. Let me first show you the white paper method in case that's what you have. I just take a quarter or even a fork, something where you can have the same measurement over and over. And I just made marks down each section. Here's 7. And then 8. So as long as you're able to get 8 sections, you can use white paper and do it this way. I'm going to show you on notebook paper. If you don't have a ruler like this, that's okay. I'm just going to use an envelope from the mail. I'm going to use a bold color just so you can see it. The very first line, oops, and then every third line, so you have 3 spaces in between. So it's 1, 2, 3 lines of notebook paper, 1, 2, 3. Each section will be 3 lines. So I'm just going down the paper. Where am I? Here we go. Dividing it up. If you do more than 3 lines, you won't fit the whole thing on the notebook paper, so that's why I picked 3 lines. Works out the best. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more. If you do your research, you'll see that ancient Greek and Roman first started off with 7 heads, and also a typical measurement is 7.5. But it is widely acceptable that 8 heads is a good figure proportion to start with. If you're drawing models for a runway for designer clothing, then they go with 9 or 10 heads tall because they want that long, narrow look. Okay, so maybe about in the middle of your page, use that first section to draw an oval. Notice I did not do this. Don't try to draw a perfect oval. Give it some sketchiness. What's next? Okay. Next is going to be number 2. Oh, let's do this. Sorry. Label section 1 is the head. Section 2 is going to be middle of chest. Okay. So I like to do a little bit of a neck, a little bit of a shoulder on each side. Notice how it's angled. It's not straight. Shoulder joint. And then middle of the chest. So that's going to mean that I like to do like an upside down U, or not upside down, a U shape to represent the rib cage. Number 3 section is both the belly button and the elbow. We'll add the arms later on. But 3, right here, I'm going to put a little circle. That's about the belly button, right at about 3. Now I do an upside down U. I was getting ahead of myself. It almost kind of looks like a mini skirt. That's just representing the pelvic bone. So number 4 is the hip and the wrist. Again, we'll get to the arm last. And then from here, 5 we call about the mid-thigh, and 6 is the knee. I'm going to write those in first because you have to kind of think ahead a little bit. Mid-thigh. 6 is actually the bottom of the knee. So if I put just a straight stick, right, then I've got the knee and the knee. I can then kind of add a little bit of mass, and you can see that that would be the middle of the thigh. When we draw this out, obviously it's an approximate general measurement. This isn't exactly how every person is built. It's just a very generic sort of proportion. People are taller, shorter, thinner, larger. It's just a basic how-to. So if this is the calf and this is the heel and the ankle, I'll again just draw a line down, almost to indicate the bone. Here's the ankle bone. I like to go kind of a little long, skinny oval. That represents the calf muscle, so the legs don't get too skinny. And then bringing it down a little bit to an angle here to the heel. You can do the foot kind of almost like a paddle. Kind of like a triangle, but then I round it where the toes are going to be. Because we're not trying to draw all kinds of details. It's just to get some measurements. So let's go back up to arms. 3 is the belly button and the elbow. So right straight down at 3, elbow. Okay. This is a glorified stick person. Straight down to line 4, or the bottom of section 4, will be the wrist. So again, I'll put another circle representing a joint. Let's make the upper arm larger. You could also do kind of like an oval shape. That's nice. But a little bit smaller in the forearm. Hands, all you really have to do is a little curve and a curve, and just get kind of like a mitten shape there, or kind of like an oval. Don't worry about fingers and things like that. A little added bonus you can do is down the middle of the face, a slight curve, and then across the middle of the face, a slight curve, just to indicate the center of the face and the eye line. Just gives it a little bit of detail. If you were to go into a little more detail with your figure, if you wanted to erase and clean it up and give a more, let's say, completed look, you're welcome to. This lesson was just meant to teach you the basics. Maybe you knew it already. Maybe this is a review. Maybe this is something you've never done before. So just something to give it a try and see what you think. And it's always good to practice. So give it a try, have some fun, and I can't wait to see your drawings.